Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer. The moon is in Cancer. The sun is in Aries. We are integrating this new Aries cycle. I did not work out at all week. I'm gonna resume on Monday. I wanna show you how much less pull-ups I can do. So I'm gonna hit like 1.5. I did the reverse grip, but I'm gonna do the original grip. The reverse grip I can do like 3-4, but this forward grip I can still probably just do 1. So here's the deal. I'm not going to put effort into this. Once I start to like struggle in raising up, I'm not gonna push myself because I want to naturally pull myself up, even if it takes longer. So I'll just kind of build up to that. So if you see me kind of like struggle, I can pull it up. I'm just gonna end the set. But yeah, just to update you guys, show you what we rocking with here. That was a good like 2.5. That second one I probably won't count. And I made sure to shorten the width. I didn't do it as wide on the outside. But yeah, I guess I could do 1 before and I could do like 2 now. But yeah, I didn't really work out at all this week. So I will reconvene in a week from now, see if maybe that 2 turns into 3.5, 4. You could tell I don't give a fuck about this, but like I just wanted to show you my progress. Yeah, I know. I appreciate the advice though, as far as pulling up. Keep on sharing workout advice. My friend advised I get what do you call that? I got this ab roller. Got a couple jump ropes, so I'll use that. But anyway, I'm not really too gung-ho on yang activities. I do a little balance yin and yang, but yeah, as we step into this integration, now that we've activated these themes, this is going to allow us to integrate more mastery. And the first thing I want to say is the Cancer is the last individual sign. Aries is the first individual sign. So this is a special integration and understanding of how deeply you will begin to feel around how you master this new direction, this new power. And one thing you have to keep in mind is people identify a lot with their beliefs, their habits, their behaviors. And when you clash with what they believe, especially their vision of you, when people look at you, your age, what they feel that represents, and you kind of operate out of that, they can take offense. They could feel like you're clashing with their beliefs when really you're just taking your own action. And you want to be mindful of falling into the trap of people's rhetoric, kind of establishing that there has to be a certain or only way to do something. I'm not trying to say there's only one way you have to do this, but just be very mindful of that, where you don't have to get caught up in trying to logically explain why, what you're doing or why you shouldn't do what other people are doing when you don't really need an explanation. Is a simple, I just don't feel like it is more than good enough. All right. Be very mindful of that. I can imagine in all of my recording astrology reports, I've been doing this for a decade plus. I mean, there's probably been all sorts of people who are like, oh, I can't keep watching this guy. He doesn't do this. He can't do this. He doesn't do that. Oh, how can I take serious someone who still does this? He's not vegan, blah, blah, blah. And one thing I love about just consistency in this journey is, 10 years later, most of those people aren't on shit, or they're not doing anything, or they're probably doing something else, or, they've probably changed another plan, and I'm still doing this. I'm still a person giving you, accurate breakdowns 10 years ago like I am now. And if I really get caught up and swept up in, oh, you should do this, you should try and do this, you should try and do that, it really can help. It also can really fully distract me. So it really depends. I wouldn't necessarily get too caught up on other people's suggestions for your development, only to the extent that it aligns with what you are already willing to commit to. But yeah, such suggestions can, even if meaning well, ultimately guide you out of what you're meant to do for yourself. Anyway, Mars in Cancer is trining Saturn, exactly the reevaluative feeling of your desire. Now that it's direct, is caught up to this retrograde in stellium. So this totality of your belief systems that govern, of course, how you're going to take action because of what you believe you can do. Now what you feel you want to do is directly connecting with that totality of belief structure, adding so much more potency to your actions, because now your actions are more aligned with these beliefs. And by the time we come into next week and we step into the full moon, and we have, of course, the Mars entering Leo and opposing Pluto. Everything is getting ready to set up for the next 2 weeks, where Venus will be direct, Mercury is going to be direct in a couple days. And this serves, while we're getting ready to integrate how it is we will tie together what we've just activated last week, this shift of everything we're changing in our beliefs to apply authentically moving forward. And this is where I say, once again, if you get so caught up in one person or a group of people's beliefs around what you should do, first of all, we don't operate in shoulds. You either do something or you don't in this life. So anyone talking to you about you should do this or should do that, they're not saying anything. They're just talking, okay? Please do not get wrapped up in your own head about, I should be this at this age, I should be doing that. Should is for losers, okay? You either do it or you don't. We don't really focus on what you should. Like, people who try and tell you should, but they don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to regurgitate elements of their beliefs to have you conform to it. So be very mindful. Let these actions reflect the integrity in your beliefs, even if it doesn't make sense to other people. Your willingness to be authentic to that, even if other people think it's bad or good, it's going to reflect what you're quite literally meant to do. Especially with the trine to the North Node in Pisces, which will actively integrate the full expression of said beliefs. And it's periods like this that you see someone's true colors. You get to go under the surface, which is what Cancer is doing, especially when you tell people no, especially when, most people will really reach out and mean well until you refuse to fit into their dream or their program. So this moon in Cancer really gives you a deeper psychic, emotional understanding that provides color palette to the lines we've activated and drawn. Leo's going to add more creativity to it. Virgo's going to tie it all together. And then we're going to present it in Libra, the social context of your original self. Until then, look forward to nonlinear and psychic revelation, okay? Especially with the sextile the moon will make to Uranus and Taurus. Now, taking this natural quality of innovating your physical senses extended towards the emotional intelligence, where you're feeling in a much more subjective way this natural progression of unconventional extra dimensional mechanics, the mechanics that are, like, operate at Planck length distances. Like, it's not anything you can like really perceive outside of an autonomic or autonervous function, but now it taps you more into the flow of this through emotional impressions, through now the clash between your authenticity in Aries and how you will be figuring out, okay, I know authentically, right? I don't really stand liars, but how sincerely can I express that in a conversation with a liar without making things too much friction, right? Like, the sincerity is going to challenge this authenticity that, yeah, you want to be raw, but you have to also, not without being soft, like, be in a position to set the foundation of sincerity so that you're still expressing what you really feel, but you're also willing not to be too selfish and start to care about, other factors in play. But at the same token, you don't want to care too much that this extent of sincerity takes away from the authenticity. That's the struggle with this clash, which will, of course, begin to integrate more of a foundation and basis for how sincerely you can feel about yourself. You've activated new power. So how does it feel? And that's what we're going to step into. Big Sean is Aries Sun Cancer Moon. You should listen to his song How It Feel off of Detroit. That will pretty much encapsulate what this transit is kind of preparing you for, right? It's also a very good manifestation song. You know what I'm saying? How I feel. But other than that, yeah, I hope you enjoy this transit. This is, once again, enshrining all the Pisces perspective. It's going to apply all of the Neptune, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Pisces perspective towards the direction you take. Just be mindful. A lot of these beliefs that are being championed, we're coming out of this dream and illusion where the smoke will dissipate, and you'll find a lot of these beliefs, traditional, new, old, were never really real. These are just widely agreed upon principles by people who, feel better kind of with whatever results they get. But you have to be careful about how people will claim these are applied universally, where not every, you know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, like, everyone should be vegan. And for an example, where people have different body types. Some people actually need to eat meat. Some people can actually get away with a plant-based diet. In just kind of dismissing, people's individual path in pursuit of you trying to fit them in your box of beliefs. Be very careful of people trying to undermine you, have you feel like you're less than yourself because you don't really align with what they believe. Allow these points to really reveal who these people really are. So you don't really get caught up in well-meaning intentions. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So just keep that in mind. Once again, what you really uncover here is for you. It's not necessarily for you to try and fit into someone's way of life. All right. Like, there are a lot of people who live their lifestyle in a way that I would never, and I don't like start judging them for it. I don't be like, you shouldn't do this because I mind my business. That's how I believe. I believe I mind my business. I don't mind other people's business. So just be very mindful of how you might let other people mind your business, and just monitor how a lot of what they're saying isn't really having to do with you, more so as much as how maybe what you do goes against their philosophy of what they feel you should do. With which, I mean, if they're not sucking your dick, why are they talking? You guys stay blessed as always, and until next time.